Hi guys, so this review is for the Chanel Perfection Lumiere foundation. Now, if you've been with the channel for a while, you you know that I've never been a fan of Chanel foundations. Well, not that I haven't, it's just never been a fan of me. I've tried Pro Lumiere and Vita Lumiere, and they both looked like ass on my face, really. I mean, the finish just looked terrible on me. I just totally didn't understand it. I really felt, again, like, you know, a little lonely girl on the playground. Everybody else loves it. Everybody else can work with it, and I just couldn't. And so the reason how I came to, oh my gosh, I really can't speak right now. The reason how I came to, what the mother hell is that all about? Okay, so Perfection Lumiere is basically replacing Pro Lumiere and Matte Lumiere. They've discontinued both of those, and this is now what is replacing them both. So the weird thing is I went to Lumiere, I did a whole whack of shopping, and they gave me little sample packets of the foundation, which I thought, yeah, okay, whatever. And I just sort of had it by the wayside because, again, I don't have luck with Chanel foundations. So one day I decided to try it out, and lo and behold, holy mother. Wow. It just looked fantastic on my skin. So when I went to like Makeup Alley and read a whole bunch of reviews, the resounding sort of consensus of this was that everybody hates this foundation. So it just goes to show you that foundations that everyone else loves, I can't use, and the one that everyone hates, I can use. So I'm not quite sure where it goes sort of amiss with other people hating it and me loving it. I think the reason is, number one, I was shocked to find out that this was a matte foundation or semi-matte. I do not wear matte anything except for eyeshadows, obviously, but I need some luminosity. I need some sort of glow. I'm wearing the foundation right now, so as you can see on me, it's not really very matte. I don't have any powder on because I don't tend to wear powder, and I've got this in 30 beige, and I believe the numbers ending in 0 are on the yellow side, and the numbers ending with 2, is it 2 or 7, is more on the pinky side. I believe this is also the only foundation that has a wide range, whereas in previous incarnations, or, you know, Pro and Matte and Aqua, they really had sort of a limited selection, whereas this, they do have quite a wide range, so I'm sure you'll be able to find your shade. So here's the trick. I think the reason why it looks good on my skin and why I had no idea that it actually was a matte or semi-matte foundation is because you all know I use oils and very, very thick, heavy, rich creams. That's just my preferred sort of moisturizing ritual, and you know, there are a lot of makeup artists that don't adhere to that at all. You know, Lisa Eldridge, she doesn't like having multiple things on. She doesn't like heaviness. She likes things to be really quite light, and I'm more of like the Kevin Aucoin, Billy B school of thought, which is, you know, Kevin Aucoin used to just slather Lumiere on people's faces. Back in the old days, they used to, like Marilyn Monroe, as Lisa Eldridge said, would slather Vaseline. And, you know, Billy B, I know when he would be doing sort of his sort of makeup seminars, would go, you know, ask somebody to go down to the drugstore and get like the cheapest, thickest, greasiest moisturizer that they could find, whether it was slapping on Nivea or Eucerin or something like that, to show you the difference. And when you have that kind of base, when it is that sort of moisturizing, the foundation just goes on beautifully. And now, mind you, having said that, I have super dry, dehydrated skin, so I can take that kind of moisture. If you're acne prone or hypersensitive to breakouts, you know, you may not want to do it. My only suggestion is it's so worth it to see how your foundation applies that, again, like Billy B said, go down to the drugstore, buy like the cheapest thing you can get so that you're not wasting your money. Just try it for one day. And if you have breakouts, obviously that's not a good thing. And your skin might not be able to handle it on a regular basis. But if you had like a great event or a special occasion and you just need to look really, really flawless, I would say to try that, because it makes all the difference in the world. When I tried this foundation without an oil, when I just did minimal, because I wanted to see what people were saying, because they freaking hate this. And I think maybe because they used to use pro or they used to use matte beforehand, and so they have that preconceived sort of notion in their head, whereas I didn't. All I knew is those other ones sucked, and it was so long ago that I don't remember it. So I'm starting from a clean slate. But the major complaint that people have with this is that it just looks so terrible. You get flaky, dry patches all over the place. It doesn't have the luminosity. And, for those who loved Pro Lumiere, and, it just makes your face look crepey and awful. And, you could just read on Makeup Alley, hopefully there have been more reviews since then. It sort of levels it out. But when I was reading, it was just like everybody hated that. It was like 20% maybe liked it and 80 just freaking hated it. So I think that was probably the main issue, is that, if you have any dryness at all, and even, when I would try on a moisturizer, because I was testing out some products, when I would try on a moisturizer that felt hydrating, it's not like it felt tight or dry, but then I used that foundation, oof, I knew exactly what people were talking about. When I went back to just my regular routine of using argan oil or, Dr. Hauschka's Rose Day Cream or Lumiere or something that was really thick and heavy. And then, of course, I put my SkinCeuticals Ultimate SPF 30, which is, again, another very, very thick sunscreen. When I have my regular routine, flawless. So I think that's the major thing. If you have dry skin at all, you're going to hate the way this foundation looks on your skin, unless you have that underneath base of super, super hydration. Again, if you're worried about breakouts, I suggest oils. People think I have acne skin, I'm not going to put oil on my face, but that's actually what your skin needs, because creams have so many other ingredients to give it that creamy formulation. So that's usually what you're sensitive to, whereas when you just take the oil, which is in the cream, they just add all this filler. So it's not like the oil isn't in that cream, but when you use an oil, and you can get them as expensive or as costly as whatever fits your price bracket or your budget. So I would suggest trying an oil, because chances of that breaking you out are slim to none. Just Google that. Just Google oils and acne skin, and you will see so many people switching to oils thinking, I never thought you could use an oil, but that really is the best thing for your skin. So, the other thing is, this is what I noticed. I'll show you. This is 30 Beige, so it does have a bit of the yellow undertone. I would say half a pump does my entire face. Now, this is the interesting thing. It looks like that. Now, as I'm talking, I will show it to you again, because this oxidizes like you would not believe. When I show you the back of my hand, it will be as though I had eaten a whole bunch of Cheetos and then just wiped it. It's that orange. I don't know what's going on where it's so orange on the back of my hand, but it's not on my face. So if you're swatching them, at a department store or wherever you find Chanel, and you realize, wow, I'm never going to buy this because it is orange. I totally hear you. But for some reason, as you can see in my face, I don't look orange at all. And it really doesn't sort of do the same thing. I'm not quite sure why that is. The other method of application is, I've tried it with brushes, with fingers, and my Beauty Blender sponge. Now, I used to think that Beauty Blender sponge pretty much made every foundation look flawless. There's now 2 foundations where it looks really crappy. I don't know why. It looks great on the other ones, but Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation and this foundation, I did not like the finish of it. Because when I heard that it was semi-matte, even though it didn't look matte on me, I thought, well, why don't I just use a Beauty Blender, because of the water, more hydration, more glow, all that sort of stuff. And for some reason, it didn't have a great finish with that, and it gobbled up a lot of product. So I wouldn't go with that. Fingers were not bad. I didn't mind it. My favorite way is it's a new brush that I just got, people. Oh my god, I don't know. It probably deserves its own review. You'll see it in a haul video, but it's the Shuimura number 18 Goat. Now I have heard about this and seen this for, you know, quite a few years. I think it just launched like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. I may be totally off with my dates. But the only reason why I didn't get it is because I already had the Giorgio Armani, and I thought, you know, pretty similar in size. I really prefer this size for foundation. I'm you know, I'm not a kabuki, big flat brush, anything. I'm not even, you know, a huge fan of the big paddly type of brushes. I've had this for, well, God, since they first brought out Giorgio Armani, like 10 years. And I bought this brush to go along with the Silk Luminous whatever. And I just love this size. You know, I have a huge melon, but I just think that I don't want to slap on foundation quickly. You know, that's the one thing that really is your canvas that's going to make everything else. If your skin doesn't look good, then it doesn't matter how great your eye makeup is and what great lip color. It's like, ooh, not good. Your skin doesn't look good. So I'm always about, you know, kind of taking the time to do it, you know, not like an hour, not even 10 minutes. I would say using this 2-3 minutes, whereas if you used a big paddly thing, maybe a minute and a half. So it's double the time, but it's less than 5 minutes. So I think that's totally cool. But this brush, you know what? I'm not even going to go into it because then this will be a 20-minute long video. So that's my preferred brush for this particular foundation. I don't know if you can see this right now, but that is pretty orange comparatively to how it first went, and it gets even oranger and oranger, and it really does look like Cheetos. When I'm done my entire face, so probably about 10-12 minutes into it, and I look at the back of my hand again, it is like orange. So I don't want to say that that doesn't happen to, or does or doesn't to anybody else. I can only speak for me, but it doesn't go like that on my face. Obviously, I'm not like Oompa Loompa orange like that, but on the back of my hand, it really does. You get 30 ml, so 1 fluid ounces. It does have a fragrance, and I believe they have fragrances like the Hydromax skincare line. So very sort of uplifting and clean and fresh. Is it a little bit fruity? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. The smell really is not, you know, it's not the first thing that you get. It's not super strong. And again, it is kind of light and fresh. So I like that. It comes also with a pump applicator, or not an applicator, a pump mechanism. I think in the States, this may have an SPF, and that's why they blocked it here, because in Canada, we get our Chanel products straight from France, and in the US, they manufactured it in the States in New York. So we're a little bit different. Now, my last thing that I'm going to say about Chanel foundation is I'm dying to try the Lumiere, or Aqua Lumiere Hydra Cream Compact. Okay, I've totally probably butchered the name of that, but it's a cream compact that basically, they're discontinued the Tint Innocence Cream Compact, and they're replacing it with this Vita or Aqua. It may be the Aqua Lumiere Hydra something compact. And when I spoke to my Chanel counter here in Canada, they said yes, they will probably get it, but months down the road. This was a few months ago, and they said maybe around August, September. When I went back to Chanel when I was feeling better, and I talked to one of the artists, and she said, I don't even see it getting here at the earliest, maybe Christmas, because they train their artists 6 to 8 months before a product launch, so that they really know that product inside and out. And she said, I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't been trained in it. So, you know, because they get trained so much earlier on, she said, if anything, maybe Christmas, or maybe when the Tint Innocence is completely off the market is when they might bring it into Canada. So for us Canadian gals, that's a no-go. I am so obsessed with getting this because I love cream foundations. So, and I'm totally, you know, reneged on my whole, I'm only going to have like one foundation per medium. Well, whatever. So I'm going to order it from the States and try that because the reviews have just been amazing. You know, the reviews of this are really crappy, whereas that one, it's amazing. And it's for dry skin. They do have a lot more shades, and I'm going to order it from the States and get it shipped here. So hopefully I will have a review for that as well. If you guys are interested, let's see it again. See, it's even orangier and darker. Yowza! I don't know what's going on. But anyways, if you have any more questions, oh, I think in Canada it was a 55, so with tax like 65, somewhere in there, or 63, I can't really remember. And I believe the cream compact, if I'm ordering it from the States, like from Nordstrom's or something, it would be 60, and then on top of it, the shipping and the taxes, and you know, it's going to be kind of a pricey investment, but fingers crossed. And if you guys already have that cream Chanel foundation, please let me know. Share your experience in the comments below. If you love it, if it's worth spending that kind of money to get it shipped and all of that sort of stuff. I'm sure it is, but if you want to share your experience with both this foundation, the other one, whatever you guys want, I would love to hear it. So, oh my God, almost 20 minutes, 16 minutes. Okay, thanks so much guys, and I will see you soon.